Hi guys, it's Blackie. Okay, today I'm going to do a little bit of a gear review. If you saw the Fuel the Fires and the WC Collins video, you've already had a little sneak peek at this. But at my recent gathering, this was not really gathering, but the fall camp, we call it. At the fall camp, the Fuel the Fires group and William Collins kind of surprised me, and they gave me a copy of the new knife that William is now producing. This is a knife that is called the Fuel the Fires Greyman. I'll give you a good close-up of it. It's a WC knife. It's an AEB-L, and we're going to go over all the features of this. It's even got the Fuel the Fires flame on it right there, and this is called the Greyman. It's got a good thick spine on it. It is a saber grind. Now what that means in English is it has a good rigid spine, good thick. So it's got a lot of meat in this blade. So you got power. You can bear down on it. You ain't got to worry about the blade bending or anything easily because it's a nice thick blade. But it's been ground down like a saber, the old swords, so it slices and cuts well. It's a bushcraft, general purpose, all-around knife that is big enough to do so many tasks, but not so big that it becomes cumbersome. It is very light. It is balanced right about there. It's got the William Collins Coke bottle handle on it. It has a divot for a bow drill on both sides. It's got the edge all the way back to the very end of the blade. It's got a good 90-degree on it. I mean really good 90-degree. It's got the hidden lanyard hole in it, and you've also got the bar stuck up just a little bit right there where you can use it as a striker for a ferrule rod, or for whenever you have to do that little whop, you've got something besides just handle. This is my Carta handles, which feel really good in the hand. There's just a little bit of texture to it, and it fits my hand just perfect. And with the design and the shape of it, you got this flat back, but you got the belly cuts, and you also got the 3 flares. That means that if you cut your fingers into that top one, you can cinch this up and use just the tip really easy. It's easy to grip it like that and hold just the tip and use that tip for precise work. Standard grip in the middle of it. And then with the loop, I like the loop on the end of my knife so I can hang up the completed knife in the sheath in the shop or at camp or something like that. It also means that I can hook something to this easily when I'm going to be in the field and say I'm in a canoe or I'm over water. That if this somehow fell out of my hand, it is gone. That gives me a chance to hook a lanyard to me around my wrist or something, so that for whatever reason this comes out of my hand, it is not gone. I'm going to be able to get it back. Okay? But it also means if you stick your pinky into that lanyard and then you grab the right here like that, that is the chopping line. I'm cutting a vine. I need speed out of it. This is not a machete, but for whatever reason I got to have speed to get something into it to use it like a machete. I can grip it down there and get the maximum whipping action to make it cut through a vine or something like that cleanly, quickly, something like that. Multiple grip angles. It's flat on the back, but it's got this little divot. That's exactly where that part of the hand fits in. So it's very, very, very comfortable in the hand. William, being the mad knife wizard, he made my original knives that you saw in all my videos that I call my prototype. He makes my Blackbird. And now, collaborating with Jonathan Morris, Mike Simmons, and the other members of the Fuel the Fires crowd, they brought this knife out. And so I have decided to do a year of the Greyman. And those of you that have followed my channel realize that in the past I talked about I did a year with a kukri. That if it could be cut with a kukri, it was used. I didn't use any other knife but a kukri in some way, shape, or form. If the job could be done with a kukri, it had to be done with that kukri. And I did it for a year to really, really do an in-depth and learn that knife. Way back before that, in my teenage years, I did the year of the K-bar, where I used the K-bar knife for a year, see. And I have also now done oh man, it's probably been like 7, 8 years that I've been using my original William Collins prototype. And I think I've had my Blackbird like 5 years. And so I have a little bit of experience with a WC knife. And so I want to try this one. The blade is long enough that I can get a purchase on it out here. Grip it carefully now. But I can use it as a draw knife, or put my thumb on it out here, I can use it as a planer. Trying to smooth out wood, making a bow or something like that. The knife comes from William, the Mad Knife Wizard. When I say razor sharp, I mean razor sharp out of the box. Okay, and let's talk about the steel for a minute. This is AEB-L. Now, AEB-L is a type of stainless, so you don't have to worry about the rusting in the field and things like that. It will patina a little over time, but it is not something that's going to rust easily. Okay? AEB-L is a very tough steel, and it has a toughness rating of 9 on the scale that they use to rate all these various steels, which is very good. It's a very, very good at retaining an edge. It doesn't dull easy. And yet, it sharpens so easy. It sharpens like it's dead soft. You put it up there in just a few strokes on a stone or a diamond hole, and it's right back like it had never quit being sharp. Whereas some other steels I've experimented with and got knives out of, they held an edge fantastic, but whenever they did get dull, it took forever to sharpen it. Not with AEB-L. That little bitty Viking hone stone in the field is all I'll need to keep this going. Because another trait that I've learned with AEB-L, and I have a WCSK and I have my Blackbird knife is in AEB-L. Even when it gets a little dull, it still keeps cutting. It doesn't get to where it drags or slides. It keeps cutting. It just takes you just feel it like a little more effort to push it. That's all. Some steels, when they get to that certain magic dull point, it's like they just slide. They kind of stop cutting. AEB-L doesn't. That's one of the reasons they use it for razors, is it keeps cutting. See, William has figured out the heat treat to make it work. And there was a big name, someone at the Blade show. He made the statement there's like 4 people in the United States that's figured out AEB-L, and William Collins is one of them. That was high praise. And I can verify that. It gets sharper than 01 tool steel significantly. My original prototype's 01 tool steel, and my Blackbird is AEB-L. And it gets the sharpness, the tooth to it, where it cuts and slices. It's just a sharper, better blade. It's resistant to the weather out here. It's not going to rust easy. And yet it's easy to sharpen. A simple hone that I carry in my kit can be used to touch it back up. And even cleaning big game animals, cleaning hog, stuff like that, which will notoriously dull a knife, it will cut. It will dull it, but it keeps cutting. That's the thing. You know, you just add a little more pressure and it still cuts cleanly. That's pretty unique among steels. So you're going to be seeing this a lot in my videos. Now, the sheath they gave me with it. Now, I just took the dangler on it to be able to bring it out here and show it to you. Slide the knife back in. See, it's a nice deep sheath, so this is easy to get a hold of and pull out, and yet it's not going to fall out. It's very well maintained. This sheath was made by my good friend Randy Smith at stitchgear.com. This loop right here is so you can run a belt through here, because JJ and them, as far as the field of fires, they like horizontal carry. They're coming from the survival prepper side of it into the bushcraft side. And so this knife is designed to be concealed. It can be put on the belt and then a shirt dropped over it, and in this configuration it doesn't print well. And so therefore it's easier to carry it concealed. when you're in those settings where you're going to the field, but you just don't want to attract a lot of attention when you stop at the Zippy Mart to get you some coffee, you get the idea. It's also got a belt loop right here that can be carried just vertical, regular on-dud pair of pants. And on the back of it, you've got a loop through here where you run the belt through and out this loop, and that allows you to wear it on your belt. One of my favorite ways, Cheyenne carry, which means it goes on the belt on a diagonal like this, so you can pull it easily. Good heavy grade leather, stitched, and it's got a loop. I added the fire rod onto it, but this will be the way I'm carrying it. Now I will rig up my own leather loop to go through here to put the baldric on whenever I want to wear it as a baldric like this. I can scoot it up here and put it in the center of my chest if I'm doing something where I need to do a lot of work on it, like cleaning a deer. I may have it like this, or on my belt for carry, or in the Cheyenne style on the corner. Small of the back, scout carry. All kinds of ways you can wear this. Very robust, very good sheath. And I like good leather sheaths with my knives, especially my WC knives. You just gotta have a stitchgear.com sheath to go with a WC knife. Man, that's you know, potatoes and carrots. You gotta have them together. I mean, come on. So I will be using this for the next year. From now until October in 2025, this is the knife you're going to be seeing. So I just want to do this video up front and let y'all know about it. Now down in the description box, I will put the look up information on YouTube to where to go and see the video of the panel discussion that was me, JJ, Mike, and William Collins at my gathering. When they sprung this on me and gave it to me, I didn't know I was getting this. I thought they were just debuting a new knife, and I had a couple of hints from various people that they were bringing out this knife, and I wanted to try it out. I'd asked her to get a loaner so I could do a review for it for you guys. And they said, well, it's kind of limited right now, we don't know, and they were just him-hawing me so they could give it to me as a present. And I'm very, very grateful for the friendship and all of it between them. And William and all the guys of Fuel the Fire, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I greatly appreciate it. I really do. And so this is the knife you're going to see in my cooking videos and in my bushcraft videos. And that's where the knife came. Now, down there in the description, I'll put the link to that panel discussion video so that you can go check it out and see what you think. Guys, I'm very blessed because I have good friends and I have some of the best knives, in my opinion, anywhere. I mean, these knives that William makes are just awesome. I'm truly in awe of how well these knives work. Not necessarily this knife. I haven't got a lot of experience with this knife yet, but any of the WC knives. And I've talked about them in my videos for years. And I truly, truly love him knives. The hard thing is when I got home with this and the wife saw it, she was saying how it would make a perfect kitchen knife. So I've already taken my Blackbird and my prototype knife and kind of locked it someplace away from the wifey, because we already have 3 WC knife kitchen knives in there. There's a Nessie and a couple others. And so therefore I got to guard this one. Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie wishing you safe journeys. Have a great day, guys.